So the next part of our app is geocoding. So in this I'll try to explain various parts such as how we have to include Google Map into our app, then how to include various APIs such as Places API, then how to draw polylines. So let's get started. So the first and I think the most important thing is how to include Google Map for Android. So this SDK helps us to load Google Maps in our Flutter app. So these are the various steps. So first of all, we have to get an API key, which is available at this site. Now to enable Google Map for each platform, we have to go to Google Developers Console. Now we have to choose the project that we want to enable Google Maps on. For example, there is a limitation, so we will have to select on which we want to enable Google Maps. Then we select the navigation menu and then select Google Maps. After that, we select APIs under the Google Maps menu. Then to enable Google Maps for Android, we select Maps SDK for Android in the additional API section, then select enable. And just make sure the APIs you enabled are under the enabled APIs section. After loading the dependencies in pubspec.yaml file and the code for maps, we have integrated current location button. In the maps, we have then added home address and work address bars. So after adding maps, this is how our screen looks like. So the next step is that adding various features over the map. So look, to get the current position of the user, we use the geolocator plugin from the Flutter package. So let me explain about it briefly. So to install it, we have to go to pub.dev and add the latest dependency to our pubspec file. We have used the version 7.0.3. Now it has various features such as we can know the last known location, we can get the current location of the device, we can get continuous location updates, we can check if location services are enabled on the device, we can also calculate the distance between two geo coordinates in meters, we can also calculate the bearing between two geo coordinates. So these are some of the features that we will get after using the geolocator plugin. After that, we enable my location button, which can be seen on the top right of the map. Clicking it will relocate the view to the current location. We can also enable zoom control. We have done it in our app, so this is where it is. And after that, at the bottom we have added a container. So this container includes an elevated button, search drop off, and tiles which will sync the user address and user office address, or can be manually filled as well. The search drop off button takes us to the search screen where we can search for our destination. So the next part is the search screen. After clicking the search places button in the home screen, we get directed to this screen as you can see here. So here our current location gets retrieved as the pickup location, or we can fill it manually as well. Now for searching the drop-off location, we will be using the Places API. So in Places API, the Place Autocomplete service is a web service that returns place predictions in response to an HTTP request. Place Autocomplete request returns the data in JSON format. JSON response contains an array of places with information about the place. The Places API returns up to 5 results. So this is a snippet of the code that we have used. This is JSON response that we get when we search, let's say, PARAN. Among this, we get plenty of information. We just need two fields, that is the main text, which contains the main text of a prediction, usually the name of the place. Then there is secondary text, which contains the secondary text of a prediction, usually the location of the place. As we have limited our search to 5 such predicted places, and we need to set up list view to display these deserialized places prediction. So this is how it looks. So Varanasi here is the main text, Uttar Pradesh, India is the secondary text. So this is what we finally get in a list view of predicted text place. Each list shows main text, that is Varanasi, and the secondary text. Now this is not enough to get the location. We need to know where this is. So for that we will be using place detail request in the Places API. So After once we have place ID from place search, we can request more details about a particular establishment or a point of interest by initiating a place details request. A place details request returns more comprehensive information about the indicated place, such as its complete address, phone number, user rating, and reviews. So after all this, we have following such as place name, place ID, latitude, and longitude. This information is sufficient enough to get and show following features further: obtain directions from the user's location to the destination, calculate the distance of destination from current position, plot polylines using the directions, showing the route and markers. So the next step is adding the side navigation drawer with navigation header. So what's the purpose of adding this side navigation drawer? Why can't we add more tabs? So just to so that our app don't look lengthy, we use drawers. So here is written that when there is insufficient space to support tabs, drawers provide a handy alternative. Side navigation drawer is helpful for the user for the quick access of information of his account like profile, photo, email history, etc. Now to open this drawer, we have added a hamburger button, which is quite handy and easy to access. This is the hamburger button. In Flutter, we use the drawer widget in combination with scaffold to create a layout with a material design drawer. This recipe uses the following steps. First we create a scaffold, then we add a drawer, then we populate the drawer with items. Then after using whatever we need, we close the drawer programmatically. So the next and the most important thing in this part is the geocoding. Geocoding is the process of converting the address into geographic coordinate like to latitude and longitude, which we can use to place markers on a map or position the map. For geocoding, we need to enable our geocoding API, and billing address should also be enabled for our Google account. So we can also use the geocoding API to find the address for a given place ID. The geocoding API provides a direct way to access these services via an HTTP request. So what is reverse geocoding? The term geocoding generally refers to the translating a human readable address into a location on map. The process of doing the opposite, that is translating a location on the map into human readable address, is known as reverse geocoding. So required parameters in reverse geocoding request are LET, LNG, the latitude and longitude values specifying the location for which we wish to obtain the closest human readable address, and the key, that is our application's API key. This key identifies our application for purposes of quota management. So this is what our app will look like. So a little about Google Maps Directions API. So we need Google Maps Directions API to get directions between two locations. After that, we can draw polylines to make it more user-friendly and readable. Using Directions API, we can search for directions for several modes of transportation, including transit, driving, walking, or cycling. We return multi-part directions using series of waypoints. We can also specify origins, destinations, and waypoints as text strings, as place IDs, or as latitude, longitude coordinates. The API returns the most efficient route when calculating directions. Before starting to use the Directions API, we need a project with a billing account and the Directions API enabled. So the next part is drawing route and adding markers. So to do that, we use Polyline. So Polyline is used for drawing routes on Google Maps. It is a list of points where line segments are drawn between consecutive points. The Flutter package used for drawing polylines is known as Flutter Polyline Points. It uses the Directions API. Now to draw a polyline between two places, we define some variables and define a method for creating the polylines. We have to pass the starting and destination positions obtained from previous steps. Then we can display polyline on the map. The polyline here is displayed in pink after taking latitude and longitude in variables. We also add two markers in the source and destination where we store the geo coordinate of pickup and drop off location in two variables, and add red for pickup and blue for drop of markers in their coordinates.